Hi, welcome back to Animal Services, and thanks for joining us. We really appreciate your time you're spending with us. I wanted to talk a little bit today about the animals that come into the shelter. You hear stories on the news, probably, about alligators and all kinds of things that the shelter receives, and that's true. But on a day-to-day basis, we also receive birds and various other kinds of animals like reptiles, and that's in addition to the run-of-the-mill dogs and cats that everyone knows we have. I have a beautiful little cockatiel right now that is going to be very easy for me to rehome, but I don't want to rehome it. I want it to go home to its own home. This little guy came to us soaking wet from a residence over in Southeast Lacey. It is a little male cockatiel, fairly young. He can talk. He whistles. He is just incredibly friendly, happier when he is with a human than he is when he's alone in his cage, for certain. Not afraid of anything, and yet I have had no calls, and I can't find any lost reports. And that just strikes me as being very odd, because if it were me, I would be absolutely bereft at losing this little bird, because he is absolutely a sweetheart. And so if you know someone who has lost a cockatiel, lots of people do lose them, but have them check with the shelter. There's been nothing on Craigslist and nothing on the other websites that people normally use for lost birds. So whenever you lose an animal, whether it's a dog, a cat, a snake, a rabbit, a ferret, a hamster, check with us first, please. We'd really appreciate it, and so would your pet, if indeed it's lost. Okay, let's talk about some of the other interesting four-footed people we have here. This one is a bunny. This is a really adorable little female bunny. We don't require the people who are adopting from us to have their rabbits spayed or neutered, but we do have a very good option available for spay and neuter for people who are interested in doing that. This one is really a very nice bunny. It's a little bit excited by the voice I'm using, which is kind of loud for a rabbit, and the camera, and being on a surface that's pretty different. But bunnies make good pets. You see, she is even ignoring her favorite parsley and carrot. Oh, stressed indeed. Okay, anyway, rabbits, we try and keep the price low enough that people can afford them easily, and yet we do recommend that they be spayed or neutered. Oh. This is one of two guinea pigs that we have. This is like Mr. Sociable. He has probably a brother, we're not sure, but the two of them are best buddies, and it would be nice if they could be adopted together. It isn't absolutely essential, but both of them are just incredibly well socialized. And as you can see, an animal that's stressed isn't going to eat. This one isn't stressed by much, which is also unusual for a guinea pig. And isn't he beautiful? I love this banding on him. Very handsome little guy. Most people already know this, but guinea pigs are one of the few species other than humans that don't manufacture their own vitamin C. And so they have to have an external source for vitamin C, just like we humans do. The guinea pig chow that you buy usually has vitamin C included, but when you're buying food for your guinea pig, make sure that it doesn't contain wheat or soy, because those are two allergens that are very prevalent in the guinea pig population and is not good for them at all. Oh, Eli is approaching. Eli is one of our shelter cats. And he's thinking guinea pig might be fun. And the guinea pig isn't even stressed by the cat. Wow, that's amazing. This little girl came to us with a kitten. The kitten was adopted, and I think he was on his way to being bigger than Mom at the point that he was adopted, which was just very recently. Anyway, Mom now has gained back some of the weight she lost nursing, and she is available for adoption on her own. She is a remarkably wonderful cat. You know how I've often told you that calicos come in either wonderful or horrible? That's in terms of behavior. She's definitely on the wonderful scale. So, yeah, right now she's enjoying a little bit of catnip, which will go back to her cage with her for fun. Our volunteer was just saying that she looks like she may have been made up from spare parts, but they go together into a very unique whole, and she is just a wonderful cat. So come see her. You know, that head shaking thing occasionally means ear mites, but her ears are clean as a whistle, so I'm not quite sure what's going on with that. Maybe it's catnip. This is Dorito. It's a great name because he looks like it. Doritos and dip. Anyway, he is a short-haired, orange tabby bicolor, beautiful classic markings on him, and he is remarkably calm. About 2 years old, he's already neutered, and he has an information sheet that his owner supplied, and you are welcome to believe the things that are written there because they are verifiable. He is very easy to get along with. He seems to do okay with other cats. He does not do well with dogs. Off mic, you may not be able to hear the dog that's barking in the background, but it is making him a little bit nervous. I know this because he's already been to the radio station today, and he's been in his house and has been just exceptionally friendly. But now he's beginning to tense up a little bit while that barking is going on. It's one of the drawbacks of a shelter. There are stressors here that we can't avoid, really. And that's one of them. Just an absolutely wonderful adoption. Great kitty. This is Citron. Citron is named that because of her incredible eyes in that lovely, lovely black shiny coat. Citron originally came to us from Tacoma Humane, I think. Not that she was transferred down here, but she was adopted through their program. And as occasionally happens, the adopter did not take her back to the adopting facility, instead brought her here, which is fine with us. The adopter said that she was unusually vocal, that she cried all the time. And I I don't know what the cause for that was, so it's an unknown issue because she has not meowed at all here. I mean, other than the standard things a cat meows about, like, oh, you're bringing me food, or hey, would you stop and pet me? That's not, that's just not unusual. So anyway, Citron is a very calm cat, and I think will make a wonderful pet, maybe to a family that is a little less sensitive to noise or something, but she doesn't seem to be particularly noisy. It's just that some families are, any random noise will make them nuts, and when you have an animal in the house, that's possible. So, but it wouldn't be outside of normal limits. Yeah. Beautiful cat. This is Milo. He is an extremely solid orange tabby. Actually, he's built kind of like a cinder block with fur. There's not even much left up here to grab as a scruff. He is a very solid cat. And he's clearly a very boyish cat. When they roll over on their back like that and would invite you to scratch their tummy, don't. It's a good way to lose a little bit of blood, and why would you want to do that? Milo, really? Oh, did I take your catnip? Darn it. Anyway, Milo is probably, from what I know of him, is quite assertive. I think he would probably get along in a household as the only cat, and he would probably get along in a household possibly with a dog, mainly because Milo is strong enough that he's not going to be too terribly threatened. Don't know about little kids. He may be a lot of cat for that. Really? Really? What a handsome boy. The purring that you probably can't hear on the mic is quite loud. Yes, it is. It's quite loud. Oh no, you're not going to sucker me in. I know what you're going to do. This is Izzy. Izzy came to us with a rather amazing complement of internal and external parasites. They're gone, and Izzy is glad. She probably even has an allergy to fleas because the hair on her lower back, where flea allergies often show up, is a little on the sparse side, but you can't really see it now. Of course, she has been defleed, and all of those other nasty guys have gone as well. She has a really fun behavioral thing. I think, I see cats do this every now and then, but instead of drinking from a water dish, which may be because of the extraordinary length of her whiskers, there are a lot of cats who do not like dishes that limit their whiskers. She dips her paw in it and then licks her paw off, which is kind of adorable. A little bit messy, but kind of adorable. And so food dishes and things like that need to be extra wide because the whiskers here, which are really vibrissae and attached to very sensitive organs at the base of their lip or in their lip, are much more sensitive than human hair would be in any form. And so often cats are reluctant to put their head down into a deep dish of any kind because it causes that sensation in that they're accustomed to interpreting as being too small Anyway, this sweet lady probably needs a home without little kids in it. I'm not sure how she does with dogs or other cats. She's kind of a quiet, shy cat. And so, although she is absolutely wonderful, you may not see her in her best aspect if she's competing with a noisy environment or other animals. She does like catnip, though. Yes. Yummy. This is Delilah. Delilah has one kind of teary eye, so we had our vet look at it just this morning. And she said that it's not anything that is virus related or in any form. It's just a teary eye. And Delilah is probably between 1 and 2 years old. She is a very cobby, solid kitty who loves her catnip. Yes, thank you very much. We'll have more of that. She is a funny little thing. Anyway, she has a very plush, deep, short-haired coat, and she is a very attractive cat. With very nice eyes. Yes, is a pretty Delilah. Okay, she is so excited about her catnip, she's getting a little bit difficult to pick up. What a girl. She has a tail that's even kind of short and cobby. It's cute. Stay with us. We're going to go look at dogs next. This is basically a puppy. This is Haley. Haley is a Dobie Pit mix. Very food motivated, very, very trainable, very sharp, smart dog. Lots of energy. And her coloring is absolutely beautiful. She is, if it were a Dobie, we would call this a blue. Since it's a pit, I don't know what you call it. I guess still a blue. But if you look at her face on, her eyes match the gray in her coat, which makes her just extraordinarily striking. You are getting mixed up in my mic cord, and that's going to be a problem for us both. Yes, okay, that's better. Anyway, high energy dog. Definitely want a fenced area for this girl because she's not disciplined enough at this point not to go after anything that's moving. She is a very sweet dog, but again, probably not a great dog for young children in the home because she will flatten them. On the other side, though, she is going to be amazingly trainable because she is very food motivated. Hey. Good sit. Good girl. See? I know you're so smart. What a beauty you are. Yes. She says, everyone is looking at me. I don't know what to do with that. There we go. This is Charlie. Charlie's about 5 years old. He has a history of husky and probably some kind of herding breed. See the merling on his chest? He has a beautiful, thick, lush coat. He has very good manners. He has a very soft mouth. You definitely would want, though, secure confinement as in a fence for this dog because he probably would avail himself of any neighboring chickens. Really? Yes, I know. You're such a good boy. I really like you. I do. He's a good, solid dog. Probably would be a great family dog. He's not particularly rambunctious, might even be very good with small children. But of course, that's something you would want to evaluate when you bring your family to the shelter to meet Charlie. I think he's very snuggly. He's not particularly stressed by a lot of the things that stress dogs out. I can pet him just about anywhere and hug him and things like that are things that you look for in a dog that's going to be okay with kids, because they don't think before they launch into a dog, and so it is up to the dog to pretty much make sure that playtime is safe. And this is a good old boy. He could use a little bit of exercise, and I don't think that Charlie is a good ball dog, so you'd probably need to take him for walks or trots, you know? Or you could get him his own herd of sheep. Of course, with the husky background, that may not turn out too well either. I know! Yes, I'm talking about you. This is Cassie. See, we try to liven things up. We had a black dog, now we have a white dog. She is a lab, we're thinking maybe setter mix. And there's a reason for that, because she was adopted from us quite a long time ago, but then the owners discovered that she has some issues with chickens, which is neither lab nor setter, it's simply dog. But they brought her back to us. So when she goes into a new home, she has to have very limited access to small animals, and chickens would be on her no-no list. So definitely secure confinement, a fence we're talking here. We don't go for tethering dogs. And the other possibility is that she could be kenneled if people aren't at home. The thing is that since we already know that chickens are kind of an issue for her, we would not want to put her in that position, because we want the adoption to succeed and we want Cassie to succeed. And so we make sure that the hot button issues are avoided. Cassie is quite the vacuum cleaner. Not unusual. And not a bad thing, huh? Yeah. She has a great coat. That white is just beautiful. And it doesn't feel like it's a double coat either, so it's not quite as bad to keep clean and snag free. Oh, look at that. How regal can you be? Gracious. This is Duke. Duke, as you can see, is a yellow lab. Purebred, I would say. Duke is a wanderer, so he does need secure confinement. He is extremely food motivated, like most labs, which is one of the reasons, aside from their very cheerful disposition, that labs make such great obedience dogs. Uh-oh, I dropped it. No, universal dog language for treat on floor. Over here. There you go. Okay. Anyway, because of his experience, pleasant experiences with wandering, Duke does need to have a fenced yard. And I think that's about the only downside for this dog. He's really a great guy. Yes, he's very slobbery, like most labs are, but he is very amiable and probably would be, yes, I do have a treat in my pocket, and no, you can't have my coat. God, really? But he's already neutered and he is ready to go home. He is a sweet boy. Yes, he is. Needs exercise. He probably would chase a ball. I don't know if we've tried that yet. Don't know how he is with cats. I don't think his family knew. We haven't tried that. But of course, we are very up for cat testing. And so that could be done if you are a family that has cats and you really, really want a yellow lab. He's very loving. He's also very pokey. He uses his nose to poke at you, you know, when he wants to get something done. He is a sweet boy. Yes, you are. Oh, I know. Yes, I appreciate the paw. Very good. Maybe I forgot and would leave that treat that's in my pocket unguarded for a second. It could happen. And no. This is a puppy. I know. Yes, I know. He's 3 months old. Actually, he was adopted from us probably at 8 weeks, but the owner is having to leave her dwelling to go to another one, and apparently dogs wouldn't be welcome there. So we got him back. And he's a little lab mix and is definitely going to be a handful for a while yet because he's a baby and needs to be trained. And like all babies, especially lab babies, he's going to chew and, you know, be a normal baby for a while. So he needs somebody to be home with him or arrangements to be made so that he won't be left alone for long periods of time, because you don't do that with babies. And I think he needs to go into training as early as possible, which may be fairly soon, you know, 6 months at least. He's just a sweetheart, very, very huggable, lovable little boy. Good for a family, very good for a family with kids. He loves attention. He's not particularly mouthy, except that he's a baby. And he's going to be teething and so forth, and so he will need lots of things to chew on other than children. And a family that's going to pay a lot of attention to him. Right? Yeah. Who could resist a face like that? Well, that's the last dog we have for you today. Thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for visiting. We really love having you. Drop by the shelter. We're at 3120 Martin Way. Our hours are 9:30 to 5:30 Tuesday through Friday, and 9:30 to 4 o'clock on Saturdays.